Hey guys, today I'm going to be giving a lesson on how you can power shield Falco's lasers easier, specifically low lasers because those are the more difficult ones to power shield, and I'm going to be showing you some tricks on how to extend the power shield window and explain how power shielding low lasers works in general. So, depending on where you're spaced against Falco, power shielding low laser can actually be a one frame window when standing. So as you can see, Falcon's going to hold shield now, and it's not going to power shield. So, and then if I have Falcon delay it by one frame, then next frame he would get hit. So this frame I'm going to shield and it will power shield. So that means at this spacing relative to laser, Falcon had a one frame window to power shield a low laser from stand. And the reason low laser is different to power shield than standing laser is because if you look at the light blue power shield bubble, if you look at it, it's farther to the right, or yeah, it's farther to the right at the standing height, while it's lower. Well, it's further in as you go down, and then if you're crouching, it starts lower. So, to do with crouching, the crouching part is kind of relevant because if Falcon is crouching and facing away from Falco, it's almost always a two-frame window to get the power shield. From this position, which makes it pretty easy. So in this example, Falcon shields here and it power shields, and if he delays it a frame, he still power shields, and the next frame he'd get hit. So that's a two-frame window. So that's a way to increase your frame window for power shielding Falco's low laser. And then there's one other way, which is probably the most useful and most common, which is to dash away. And I'll go over that in a second, but I quickly want to talk about another intricacy, which is that if you're dashing towards the opponent, sometimes you're not actually able to power shield at all. So in this example, this frame I get hit. So this is the frame beforehand. If I shield here, then it doesn't power shield. It just gives me this animation. So, and then if I shield the frame before, it doesn't power shield. So there's some dash forward spacings where there's a 0 frame window to power shield, and this is important because it means that this is one of the dashing forward and shielding is one of the least consistent methods for power shielding low lasers. Because like I just showed, sometimes there's a 0 frame window. So now let's go on to dash back and how that compares to the dash forward. So dash back laser, it gives you a far greater window. So in this example, this is the first frame you can power shield, so I power shield here, and now I'm going to dash back further. So I shielded on frame after frame 46 according to the playback. 44, not 46. So 44, and now I'm going to dash further and shield, and this time it doesn't power shield, so that's just sort of because you're moving backwards, the spacing is kind of messed with. So that's a frame that will have to go. But 44, 45, and now this is the next frame, and if I shield now, it will power shield, and if I shield the frame after this, it will power shield. And if I shield the frame after that, so that was that frame, this is this frame, it will power shield. So that was 4 power shield frames with one in between that was kind of messed with, and then another there. So that's a greatly extended window before you get hit. So if you time your dash back well, when the laser is about to come at you, at around this spacing, if you start your dash back when the laser is about this far away from you, then the power shield becomes very lenient, and so you really need to keep that in mind because it can increase your laser power shield percentage drastically. So let's get on to the next thing. I think that's it. So now let's talk about some practical uses of those two things I already talked about, which was crouch, turn around, and dash back. And by the way, the crouch turnaround, it doesn't work with facing towards them. It only works with for when you're facing away like this. If you're facing towards them, then it's usually a one-frame window. So what you can do is you can shield the laser in neutral, and then wave dash out of shield, facing away from them, and then crouch, and then power shield the second one with that two-frame window that you will almost always have from that position. And this is a way. I'd say this is more useful if the Falco is laser camping you, because if he's approaching you, then it might be kind of risky to have your back facing towards him. But if the Falco is just spamming lasers down at you, then just throwing this out every now and then to get a power shield laser in might be fine. But now let's talk about the more useful thing, which is the dash back. So what you could do is, even if Falco goes for a chase down laser like he is here, so let's say you shield the first laser and you wave dash out a shield. He's going for a chase down laser. You time your dash back so that you can power shield now, and then as I showed earlier, you have an increased window, so this power shield becomes far more lenient. And now that's when you can jump out of the power shield, and then you can go for pressure frame advantage situations after that. And yeah, this is a very common situation where Falco chases you down with another laser, because he can't reach with a laser aerial from this position. So it's very common for them to chase down with another laser, and being able to get a power shield in this situation is very useful. And you can just do this in other situations in neutral as well, where you take a laser, you dash back, you dash dance, they shoot another laser, and then you can dash back and power shield. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for this video. I hope it was useful, and I hope you learned something. So yeah.